All right, Niels, welcome to the interview. It's a pleasure to have you on, my man. You've grown to incredible heights. So, I just had to reach out to you and ask if you wanted to come on. So, really appreciate you being here. We're just going to have a, genuine, simple conversation about your growth, what you've learned, what things look like, because, the way you have grown is not really normal for most coaches that come into this space. You started 9K per month, you've grown to incredible heights. And of course, with our help, you've gone to over 50K per month, and then you've taken off to the stars after that. So, thank you for being here. And I think a great way to start off is by you give a little bit of an introduction of yourself, target market you have, the offer you run, and then we can take it from there.
Yeah, man. Thanks for the invitation.
Of course.
So what we do, our office, like we do Faces YouTube channels and a coaching program for Faces YouTube channels. And yeah, we see a lot of demand actually in it. Um, I started myself on X, Twitter, and then I had the onboarding call with you, Bastiaan. I was doing 9K at that time, and you told me like, oh, maybe in 3 months or in 3 months we can do around 30 to 50K, and that was like out of my perspective. I didn't believe you at all actually, and then after 3 months we hit the exact 50K in 1 month. So that was insane.
Yeah, I remember you had a very specific target, 50K per month, so you could collaborate with a certain partner, which, we've then hit and then went on to reach for the stars. So I guess a good first question is, why did you decide to join the Consulting Leaders Mastermind? Because I know we had a very, very brief conversation over the Instagram DMs. You're like, bam, I'm in, right? So I'm very, very quick. So what made you come in earlier in 2024?
Yeah, so my decision to come in was basically based on like, I saw the people getting great results. Like you were already an established name, I think, in the space. So I asked some people and they say like, yeah, just do it, just do it. And then I was like, okay, I want to make this a success. I can figure it out like everything myself and take a lot of time. But I think it's better when we just go work together and then it go way faster. And it went way faster actually. So
Yeah. No, that's super awesome, man. And I remember like we had to go, I think it was in 2 months or was it 3 months? I think you mentioned 3 months, right?
yeah, 3 months.
Yeah, nice, man. And I'd love for you too, if you can, just to break down that growth, like kind of the things we covered on our business planning session that enabled that growth that worked really well for you. Because, by no means would I say you had like a huge audience, because most people think like you need millions of followers to, generate some substantial revenue. But I remember you had a Twitter of like a couple thousand followers, small email list,
Yeah.
Discord. What was that, strategy you implemented within CLM that helped you enable that growth?
Yeah, so before starting working with you guys, I didn't have any appointment setter. So the first step was the appointment setter, just reaching out to new people and having conversation with more people. Like I was still texting everybody myself, I missed messages, etc. So the first step was really the appointment setter, and did outreach to like all likes, all followers, and then you get so many more conversations. Like you basically go from dry inbox to like a lot of conversation with a lot of people
Yep.
and booking way more calls. And yeah, that was the first big step, I think.
Yeah, amazing. Appointment setter. I know like your organic marketing was incredible. And
Yeah.
maybe you can take us through the things you did on a daily basis because, most coaches that are at 5, 10K per month, they think you need to do like a humongous amount of things. But I think if we broke it down, like you really did 3, 4 things, but you did them really, really well. So what were those things for you that you did on a daily basis in those 3 months that led to that growth?
Yeah. So basically, when you're at like 5 to 10K a month, the only thing you need more is more traffic. So you need more people in your DM. You need more people in your calendar, basically more calls, more DMs. So we were really focused on, okay, how can we get the content right to get way more engagement, get way more chats, and then also book way more calls.
Yeah.
So that was what we did. I still did all the sales calls myself. Um, so yeah, it just getting all those calls, all those people in.
Yeah, 100%. And out of all the marketing things you did organically, what would you say were the things that worked best for you? Because I know you are really good at writing the Twitter threads yourself and sending people to Discord. Would you say like that's where most of the calls came from? Or what were the things that worked really well for you on the organic side?
So what I would say what really well is indeed like making posts delivering value, but also ask people, okay, I got a few spots open. Okay, we who wants to join this month? So I was a bit hesitated to ask basically people, hey, I have a few spots open, come join. And then you say to me like, no, every week you can just do like, ask people, hey, I've got a few spots left. That's what I did. And then there was like insane reaction because I was at just nerded like all the people on my followers for a few months. And then I asked them something in return. And then everybody wanted to basically start the coaching.
Yeah, I remember that was incredible. And now that I'm talking about this, I remember the price. Like we talked about
Ah,
price
yeah,
point.
yeah,
Maybe you can, because I find it really, funny and inspiring. Both at the same time that I remember we were talking about the price instead of me, telling the viewers about it. Maybe you can like, yeah, tell me about the price point, what we raised it to, limiting beliefs, how it went for you. That'd be great.
yeah. Who won? So the price initially when I started out was like 3K. And then you said like that's true. One of the first things you said was okay, raise it to 5.8K. Um, so yeah, that already like of course then you have to sell half of the people and still generating the same revenue. Yeah, that was a good point actually. And then I was hesitant to ask like 5.8K. It felt a bit like high, but they also added a lot of like extra points. And yeah, people, if you deliver great things, people want to pay for it.
Yep, 100%. And maybe take us through like the first 5K sale you made, because that must have felt amazing, like almost doubling
Yeah,
your point and having someone say
yeah,
yes in the pool.
yeah. So how did it felt like? I still was doing the sales calls myself. So,
Yep.
and I wasn't. I used to do like cold calling, etc. So I was a little bit used to it, but like closing really people on sales calls is way different. So yeah, it's just like pitching your thing, pitching your price, and then just waiting for like how do they respond, etc. And I remember like people just like thinking, and then and they say like, okay, just do it, and then like you feel that happiness, and actually have people believe in your program to invest in, right? So that's also a responsibility. I feel like okay, now they trust in me, and now I need to deliver the best program basically.
100%. Would you say like with every call you did, it became easier and easier to like pitch that price?
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely.
Amazing. Yeah. Now, awesome. And then, like, of course, now you got an incredible sales team, which you went on to build yourself. And I'd love to ask you, like, what are the biggest lessons the biggest lessons you've learned from building out your sales team? Because how many closers do you have right now?
Yes, currently we're working with like four closes, three almost full time and one part time. And one of the biggest lessons there, actually, like closers are almost like business owners, so they're really like the difference between A players and normal closers is like really big. And if you have like really A players closers, they will come up with new things, with new ideas. They make improvements to the program itself, and it works really great. So yeah, just I would highly advise to first try closing yourself a little bit, especially in the beginning, and then you know how it works. And then if you scale up, like just hire someone else.
Yeah,
But yeah,
100%. Well said. No, I love that a lot. And then, of course, now with closing, of course, fulfillment follows. So I imagine you got like a bit of a delivery team. But just to real quickly to go back to the sales before we dive into delivery, now having gone through the experiences you have, what are like maybe the top one, two, three things that you always look out for when you're looking for a closer that you want to add to your organization?
yeah. So again, one of the first things is okay, how responsive is someone? Like you can already see it in planning a call with a potential close. Like, do they respond fast? Do they propose themselves a call in the chat? Do they? That's actually where the like recruitment already starts. And then when you're on the call, of course, wouldn't I say or know that a lot of people say like, "Hey, look for experience, etc." Me, it's really like the mindset of the closer itself and how dedicated they are. So, are they willing to spend time? And do they have like growth mindset? Do they want to grow with you? Those two things. That's really important. Then you can train everyone, and you can really grow with them as a company.
Yep, I love that. And your closures or follow up, how good would you say the follow up is right now? And is it something that you find important that they do, or is it maybe something that you have your setters more so do? How do you kind of look at the follow up side of things on the leads?
basically all the closers do the follow-ups themselves. So
Yeah.
they just plan in the Calendly, the lead plans it in. Then they send a message before, then they call, and then they also do the follow-ups messages after. Like sometimes we send them, or I send them a message again to the lead.
Yeah.
But the closers do the whole follow-up themselves too. Yeah.
Really nice. How much would you say on a monthly basis comes in from just following up in terms of new sales?
Like we don't do a lot following up like older leads, like for 3 months ago. But we do have like people that want to think about it, of course, or talk to other students.
Yeah.
And that might be like 25%.
Oh, that's huge. Yeah, because most people I speak to, I ask them like, what comes in from your follow up, and they're like, people convert from the follow up. I'm like, yeah, you know,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
30% is a good percentage. That's
Yeah.
that's a great percentage, man. Well done. All right, brother. So that's great on the sales team, and I guess with delivery, how did you scale delivery as your business grew, and what does your team look like right now on the delivery side?
Yeah, so that's actually one of the hardest things. Because like that's my program, right? So I really want to have the best delivery. Um, Currently we do work with a coach, but I'm still doing the delivery myself too. Like I'm still checking all
Nice.
the chat, everything, because I just want to like I know what works, especially when so many students with great results. I know what works, I know what doesn't work, and then I still want to help the students myself basically. So I do still a lot of myself. I could outsource it more, but I just want to keep the quality high
Maintain the
basically.
quality.
Yeah.
That's awesome, and it goes to show you care a lot about your students, and I think every coach always should. So that's
Hmm.
incredible. My other question for you is because for everyone this is a little bit different, but what would you say are your most valuable activities right now as the CEO to keep reinforcing that growth? So things you do on a day-to-day basis that will drive growth, creating future projects like maybe a new ad campaign. How do you go about keeping that growth on a increasing level?
Yeah. So basically, where I'm looking constantly at, like I try to make all the data as visible as possible. So I just see, okay, where the leads coming from, what funnel, what works best, what converts best, etc. So I have everything very visible, and then I know, okay, if this funnel works best, okay, then we double down on what works. Like if something works, I don't try to do a lot of new things, but I just try to double down. It's actually something I learned from YouTube myself. Like if it works, just double down on what works instead of trying to make new stuff work.
Yeah. That's awesome. So really just having visibility on the data, reverse engineering what's working well for you, and just really doubling down on that.
Yeah, yeah.
Amazing. I love that. And then another question I have for you is, what would you say are the biggest lessons you've learned as you've grown to the current heights? You've grown to in this, I know it's a very broad question, but what would you say are the first things that popped up if you reflect back on your journey? Like, if I do not do these things, I would have not reached this growth. So what do you like deem important on the marketing side or maybe team building side that are, like some big lessons you've learned in this trajectory of growth?
Yeah. So um, firstly, like just learn step by step. Like
Yeah,
when
it's
I
cool.
started, yeah, when I started, I didn't imagine like that even like hitting 50K was possible.
Yeah.
And then you go on and go on, and you see what's actually possible. So that's the first step, like mindset. And then of course, like what I would highly recommend also with Faces channels, YouTube Faces channels, but try to do everything yourself first, but not too long. So try chatting a little bit yourself, like 2 weeks, maybe a month. Okay, then you know what it is, then you can find a good seller. Okay, then do closing 1 2 months. Okay, then you know what it is, then find a good closer. So do it yourself, then hire someone, and then that's how you build up basically. And then at the end, like if you have more people, you can even what I'm trying to do now, like let all the closers hire all the closers because they know more people, etc. And that's how you grow like more expansion. Um,
That's
how
really
do you
huge.
say it? Like yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. So basically, you're saying just make sure you do the thing first before you hire a setter or a closer.
Yeah.
And then the second thing you mentioned was that's actually something I haven't heard a lot of, but you're saying you go to your closers if you want to get more closers. So you get more like
Yeah.
of the same type of people basically in your organization. It's awesome. So do you do that just on the closing side or maybe also on the delivery side or?
Yeah, not so on the delivery side, but on the closing and appointment setting side. Yeah, yeah,
Nice. Okay, so really on the sales side. That's
yeah.
awesome. Beautiful, man. Been really valuable so far. So I've got one more final question for you.
Hmm.
So the question is, what were, if you're willing to share, are perhaps some personal obstacles? Because you mentioned, of course, mindset is important, or struggles that you had to overcome to raise your standards as an entrepreneur
Hmm.
to reach the growth, that you've currently reached.
Oh, good question.
Yeah, you
So
don't
yeah,
have to go
definitely
butt
first.
naked, into a
Yeah,
dating
yeah.
or anything like that, You seem like a healthy guy that's doing all good, but what were maybe like maybe it could be pressure from delivery or anything that just pops up into your mind personal
Yeah,
wise.
so definitely first mindset. Um, like if you see people do a certain number with a business, always remember that you can do it too. Um, I still experience it takes a lot of time and effort. So don't think, okay, people do that number, I can do it like easily myself. It still takes a lot of time and effort, but it's possible. Um, and then also the part of hiring people. That's what really gonna like grow your business. Like hiring good people and then really run it as a business. Um, yeah,
Yeah, so you're saying like don't compare yourself and be inspired by other people as opposed to be jealous and then feel you're way too behind that you don't even take any action towards the goals that you have for yourself. Yeah, that's a really big one. That's awesome, brother. All right, thanks for sharing that. And then I guess the last one, what would you recommend the consulting leaders mastermind to others, and what would you say it's good for if they also potentially want to get some help from myself and my team?
yeah, good one. So I was doubting myself in the beginning because you like coach program, etc. But it's like just okay if you want to learn this, um, you can go way faster um, with you guys. It basically like if you want to run a coaching business, you know how to run a coaching business. Okay, you can go there way faster with you. I think you can come there along, but like with way more time, like 6 months, 12 months. You just need to figure out everything on your own, right?
Yep.
Um, so that's like you can go there way faster, uh, and just like all those small things you already know. Like if I you can just ask and you know like exactly the answer. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's very cool. Like very, I need to know myself more like on how to use you guys, so I can just send all my questions and you know the answer.
Yep.
But yeah, just skyrocket your growth. That's the whole thing. It just goes faster.
Yep. 100%. So get a mentor, do it faster as opposed to yourself,
Yeah,
and that way you're going to be able to like reach the goals that you set out for yourself
yeah,
to. That's awesome,
exactly.
brother. What would you advise me to do as a coach in 2025 if I'm like at 5 to 10K per month to grow further? And this doesn't have to be like recommending them to our mastermind or something, like just any type of advice that you'd
Mhm.
give someone like that is kind of at the place that you started from if they wanted to grow in 2025.
Yeah, so if you're at especially 5 to 10K a month, like the only thing you should focus on is getting in more leads. What I said, like
More
just getting
traffic.
in more traffic, more leads, more traffic. Um, like you can still do appointment setting yourself, the closing yourself. Just put all the rest of your effort in marketing and sales.
Yeah.
That's it. Unless you have so much work that you can't handle it yourself anymore. But like all the focus, I think you guys are really good at the organic marketing part. And just focus like follow the course, focus everything on the marketing, and then when you're like getting more people, then you can start thinking about hiring people.
Yeah, exactly. So don't be lazy, do the work, and don't
Yeah,
try to skip the basics because otherwise you're going to
yeah,
shoot yourself in the foot. And
exactly.
just be consistent because there's really no secret. A secret.
Yeah,
Well, you say
yeah,
there's a secret because many people like they watch other YouTubers or other coaches that are doing pretty good figures and they think like there's a secret funnel. What would you say, Niels, with where you're at? Like, is there a secret, or would you say like it's really consistency, hard work, looking at data?
yeah. That's the secret. I think the secret is consistency. Like not a lot of people think from themselves that they're consistent, while they're actually not. So if you just go and
Very
keep
true.
going, and yeah, that's it. That's the
Yeah,
secret.
so would you say like your personal life, correctly, to what it of course really is, but would you say like it's you wake up, you hit the gym, you eat well, and then the next day is the same? or would you say like there's some other things you do?
No,
Would you say
that's it.
that that's
So
kind of the
and also like
yeah,
your thoughts are around your business, right? So
yep,
I really need the gym to hit the gym to stay healthy
yep,
to be able to do it. Yeah,
100%. Yeah, same here. It really just comes down to the boring stuff, delayed gratifications, what I found too. So,
yeah,
Niels, super fun to interview, brother. Thank you so much for coming on.
sure,
We're gonna end it right here. So thanks for jumping on, and guys, we hope you
cool, man.
enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.